Sometimes you crave pizza, but you don't have access to a pizzeria. It's a little too late. You don't have money. But you know what you do have? You have a piece of baguette, little tomato sauce, and some mousse. Let's make French bread pizza. It's real easy, very tasty. What are you going to need for a French bread pizza? Well, first thing you're going to need is tomato sauce. Something you can put on top of the French bread to make it taste like pizza. I like Rao's. Yeah, it's Rao's. Its marinara sauce has something like 5-6 ingredients. When you look at, by the way, when you buy tomato sauce from the store, look at the ingredients. If the list is longer than 5 or 6 items, if it's got sugar in it, if it's got a, whole list of things you can't even pronounce in the ingredients, head for the hills. What you want is something that has tomatoes, onions, oregano, garlic, olive oil, things like that. Rao's has that. So that's what I would do. And by the way, I'm not getting paid for talking about this. I just like this. Mozzarella. Mozz. You can buy it sliced. You can buy it whole. Let's say you have a ball of mozzarella in the fridge. You haven't really used it. This is the best way to use it up. Slice it. You can put it on top of the bread. If you don't have mozz, you can just use American cheese. It's cheese. Who cares? Right? Yeah. When you're hungry, you're going to be, willing to eat whatever cheese you have in the fridge. The only other thing you're going to need is a knife to cut the bread and a spoon to spread the tomato sauce on top of the bread. You just stick that into the oven, and by the time the bread is toasty, the cheese will melt, and you'll have French bread pizza. Let's see how we assemble it. Okay, this is how you're going to assemble this stuff. Take your French baguette, cut the amount you're going to want to eat. If there's 2 of you, do the whole thing. But all you have to do now is cut this down in half. So you want to go all the way down carefully so you don't cut your hands. Cut this down into 2 halves like this. You with me? Okay. So now what you have to do is put a little tomato sauce on this and then put a bunch of cheese on top of it. Each one of these guys will probably get 2 slices. So here's my tomato sauce. You don't want to douse this with too much tomato sauce, okay? The secret to a good pizza is just a touch of tomato. You don't want to cover this whole thing with a huge amount of tomato sauce. You should be able to see the bread under the tomato sauce. You follow? Okay. So now I've pretty much covered everything with some tomato sauce. If you want to make it spicy, put some hot pepper in there. But that's all you need to do right now. Now, get a couple of pieces of mozz. If it's too wide, it's going to spill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it or fold it so that it covers just the top of the bread. Yeah, I have too much cheese here, but that's okay. I can just cover the area that I need. Now, if you like your pizza cheesy, nothing wrong with that. Just add a little more. With a little more cheese here. All right? That's it. This is going to be your French bread pizza. Let me show you what you do next. Okay. So now I have this tray. I put the pizza that I assembled in the tray, and I'm going to stick it in the oven. You can set it to 350 just to slowly melt the cheese and toast the bread. You don't want it to be too high because the bread is already cooked. It's not like you're actually making a wet dough. This thing is already a baked piece of bread. So all you're really doing is warming up the bread and melting the cheese to make the French bread pizza. Okay? The oven is ready. I'm going to stick this in the oven. Keep an eye on it until the top is melted. Keep in mind, everything here is cooked. The bread is already baked. The sauce is already baked. All you're doing is warming everything up, melting the cheese. All right. So now I just pulled this out of the oven. Notice that it's kind of hot. I can't really touch it. Some of the cheese melted and attached itself to the dish, but that's okay. We can wash that. But notice the nice sizzling burnt pieces of cheese. The crust is nice and crispy, and this could make a nice lunch. You know what would be good on this? If you have some pepperoni, or some bacon, or even some vegetable. If you have onions or peppers, you can put it on top of this, and it would have roasted on top of the cheese. It would have been beautiful. So this is an easy way to make pizza without making pizza. It's a French bread pizza. 3 ingredients, very easy to make. Try it.